Hello everyone. I'm extremely excited today to take you guys through the new features and functionalities of Coach Packet. Before we dive into a full demo, I'd like to kind of give you some insight into how we view a recruiting event. And we see a recruiting event kind of as a story, and just like every story, there's a beginning, middle, and end. So in our recruiting event story, the beginning is when coaches are sitting around reviewing the schedule, finding out where they need to be at what time and what field and all that good stuff. And traditionally, they've taken the hard copy pieces of paper and matched it up with the hard copy binder. The middle of the event is when the coaches are taking that binder, sitting on the sidelines, highlighting athletes that they really like, making notes on that athlete, and just kind of formulating who their top prospects are going to be. The end of the story is when the coaches are, after the event, evaluating those athletes and taking it to the next level to figure out how we're going to send them emails and all that good stuff. And how we view that from a Coach Packet perspective, which we'll get into in a second here with the demo, is the beginning, being able to store those schedules and seeing where you need to be at what time, utilizing our dedicated iPad app. The middle, being able to use the iPad on the sidelines to make notes and evaluations and sync data and all that good stuff. And then afterwards, being able to log back in and watch video, full game tapes or partial highlights on those athletes, all within the confines of Coach Packet, whether it's the mobile app or whether it's the full version of Coach Packet. So what I'm going to spend most of my time on today is taking everyone through the dedicated iPad version of FrontRush. So you'll see our screen here, and it's just kind of a broadcast of an iPad. So we're going to scroll over, and we're going to get into the Coach Packet app. So you simply want to go to the App Store. Again, it's free. So you just download Coach Packet. It'll ask you to sign in initially. And once you sign in, you'll have access to your account. So once you have access to your account, you're going to have access to all the events that you were previously at that you use Coach Packet, or if you simply need to add a new event, you'll be able to add an event with that blue button down on the left-hand side. For those that don't have a Coach Packet account, simply go to coachpacket.com. On the top right-hand side, it'll ask you to register. Once you sign in or register, you're going to get an email notification asking you to verify your .edu account. Simply verify your .edu account and you're ready to roll. You'll have the web version and you'll have the ability to download the iPad app to access this information at the event before, during, and after. So let's go ahead and take President's Cup that's coming up. It's one of our partners, the IWLCA, and one of the big events that they have this fall is the President's Cup, and that's coming up. Let's take that as an example, as just a reference that I'll kind of keep referring back to. But you'll see here, once we're logged in, you have access to all the events. You can just simply scroll up and down to see all the events that you have. Now, this is a test account, so there's a lot of events in here. You may or may not have this many events, but it doesn't matter. You can put in as many as you want or as little as you want. So what transpires is we work with, let's say, the IWLCA, and the IWLCA will provide us with schedules and full list of every single athlete and data that's associated with those athletes about a week before the event. Once we've received that information, we upload it to our admin section, and then what's created is a custom code. And that custom code is how you'll be able to access that information directly from the web version or from the iPad version of Coach Packet. So when you have that code, and you'll be getting it probably more times than you really want, we'll be sending an email. The event organizer will most likely be sending an email, and if you see us at trade shows, conventions, or at the booth at the event, it will probably give you that code again. So that code's going to be available for you at several different places. You can even email our support staff at support@coachpacket.com. and we'll be able to provide you with that code. So once you have that code, on the bottom left-hand side here, it'll say Add Event. So you simply want to click this Add Event button here, and it'll ask you to type in the code. Once you type in the code, it'll then automatically sync that information with your iPad. There's no code just yet for President's Cup, so I'll just move on to another event that we already have uploaded into the system, and we'll take a look into the IWLCA Western Cup. So you see this here on the list. You simply click on it, and what it's doing is it's actually syncing to your iPad. As you see the little wheel, if you will, go around, what it's doing is it's syncing to your iPad so that you have this information, whether you're in a 3G network, Wi-Fi section of the fields. Most of the time these events are in the middle of nowhere, or you're on field 20 in the back corner of some place, and there's no internet connection, and having the ability to have access on your iPad to internet, that's a monthly fee that some coaches don't want to incur. So what we do is we provide this information to you offline as well. You just have to sync it the first time. You have to be connected to the internet when you first initially sync it, but afterwards you'll be good to go, because once it's on your iPad, you can be online or offline to have access to this information. Most coaches, what's going to happen is when we send this information out a week beforehand, they're going to be able to log in, sit around with the other coaches at the recruiting table, if you will, and figure out who needs to be where at what time and all that good stuff. It's kind of the beginning of the story. The beginning is setting up that schedule. So you'll see a list of athletes here. You can simply scroll through if you really want to dive through a couple thousand athletes. You can search the event for any athlete that you'd like based on anything that you need. So if you're searching for Jessica Smith, you can search for Jessica Smith, or if you're looking for the Desert Heat U15 Black, well, you can go ahead and search by those fields, and then just those athletes that meet that criteria are going to come up. You can do a combination. You can do Desert Heat U15 Black number 58, and Gabriella will pop right up for you. So you could do a combination within this search to go ahead and start breaking down that list of 4,000, 5,000 athletes to the ones that you really want to focus on. Kind of get through the clutter there. So what you'll have the ability to do is, again, see every single athlete that you want. Once you have that list of athletes up in front of you, you can do some really cool stuff with it in the sense of go ahead and clicking the star. If you go ahead and click the star, what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to start narrowing down those 5,000 athletes to maybe 50 or 60 that you really either want to watch or that you've already watched and want to go back in and make more notes and evaluations and all that good stuff. You can search with the star button here. And there's a couple different ways that you can star the athletes. You can actually change the colors of them. So if it's no star, maybe it's not somebody that you really want. Maybe gold star is somebody that you evaluated. Maybe red star is somebody that we need to evaluate. And purple star is somebody who we really, really want to watch video on after the event. So you guys have the ability to utilize those stars in any which way that you want. But once you have those stars, just keep in mind, once you've labeled them, you'll have the ability to just click this little star button right next to the search field, and then it'll prioritize just the ones that you've starred. So here are the athletes that we've starred. We're ready to roll. We're before the event. We've set this up, and now we're ready to evaluate these athletes because these are the ones that we really want. So once we get to the event, you need to know, okay, well, where's Katie Adams playing? So you simply click on Katie's name. And what it'll do on the right-hand side here is pop up Katie Adams' profile. So with Katie Adams' profile, any information that the IWLCA provides us or the event itself will provide us, we'll provide it to you in a clean, easy format so that you guys can see it right in front of you. You can simply click on Notes. Let's say we're watching Katie Adams play, run up and down the field. Well, you can simply click Note, go ahead and say this orange button at the top right, Create Note. Type in your note, type in your evaluation, click done, and then now that note's going to be stored. But let's say Katie Adams, you're not on the sidelines just yet. You want to know where she's playing. I really want to see Katie because her and I have been communicating back and forth, but I have no idea where her Utah Elite team is playing. You just simply click on the Schedule tab, and the Schedule tab will give you her schedule. It'll give you Katie Adams' schedule. Now, it's based on the club team, so maybe if you're recruiting multiple athletes from that Utah Elite program, you may be able to dive back in and watch those other athletes, but it'll break it down for you. It'll say, okay, Field 5 at 12 p.m. Saturday, July 13th, Katie's playing, and this is the team that they're playing. You can see it right down the list here, the 4 games that Katie's going to be involved with, and you'll have the ability to go ahead and watch those games and have access to that information. So, again, you'll be able to, before the event, set it up per athlete. So if you really like certain athletes, you just quick search, star them, put them aside so that you're ready to roll once you're at the event, and you can just say, okay, let's divide and conquer. You know, my assistant coach is going to go here, I'm going to go here, and everyone's happy. Let's go ahead and take it another way. So that was based solely on the athletes and diving into their profile and then seeing the schedule that way. The other way that you can see the schedule is by simply clicking on the athletes and clicking on schedule. So once you click on schedule, you'll be able to scroll down here and see exactly what's going on. So how cool is this? So you say, okay, it's Saturday at 9 a.m. Who's playing? Is it anybody that I want to watch playing right now? So you'll see, okay, Denver Summit's playing, Team 180's playing, Minnesota Elite's playing. Not interested in any of those, but I'm really interested in watching Minnesota Elite 2015 play. So simply star that game. You could do purple, yellow, red again, just in case it's somebody like, depending on how the staff communicates back and forth with each other to say, okay, well, what are we labeling gold as? Gold as we've already watched it, or gold is somebody that we need to go see, so on and so forth. So you can take it by schedule, and you can just simply keep scrolling, and it'll keep changing the time. Now, the beauty of the iPad app is that, again, it's all offline, and you have the ability to sync the schedule. So it'll recognize based on the time of the day and what day it is, it'll automatically default to, let's say it's 12 p.m. on Saturday, it'll automatically default to that for you. So you don't have to keep scrolling. Like if it's Sunday at 1 o'clock, you don't have to scroll all the way to Sunday. It'll automatically pull you to Sunday at 1 o'clock. So again, you have the ability to search at the top. So if you're searching for a specific team, let's go ahead and type in Denver Summit. Go ahead and search. And here's a list of all the Denver Summits. Now, I've did just Denver Summit as a whole, so I'm going to get 2015s and 2014s. But as a coaching staff, you'll be able to see, okay, this is where Denver Summit's playing. We're focusing in on this club team, and we want to go ahead and watch them play at Saturday at 10 a.m. That's a game that we want to narrow down. You know, there's 500 and some odd games going on, or 400 and some odd games going on. Let's go ahead and narrow those down so that my coaching staff and I can be laser focus at where we need to be at what time. So once we have those games starred, you have the ability to then just pull up the starred games. Here are the ones that we need to see that are Denver Summit associated with, or the games that Denver Summit starred in. You go ahead and simply click on the game itself. And the cool thing is that the 2 rosters are going to populate right in front of you for you. So you'll see True Lacrosse, you'll see Denver Summit. It's alphabetized for you, so you'll see the numbers right next to them. I'm going to click on another game. So you simply click on it, and you have these athletes right up in front of you. You have the 2 teams up in front of you. You have the ability to star those athletes. So if I'm watching Maggie Wright run up and down the field, or if I'm watching the game and I really like number 1 on Team 180, and that just happens to be Maggie Wright, I go ahead and click note, make a quick note, store that note, star that athlete, because now I've evaluated that athlete and I have the ability to get in there. So wanted to just kind of take a second here just so we can regroup and just say, beginning, middle, and end. And right now we're in the middle of the story. Right now we're at the event. We've already at the beginning set our schedule. We're now at the event, and we're now going to make some notes on those different athletes. So simply going to click on Western Cup again. It's going to then sync the data. Now if you've already the data's already been synced, it'll automatically just populate for you, and you have the ability to have access to that information. We're going to go back to the schedule. We're going to go back and click on Minnesota Elite versus Bear Lax. Let's go ahead and watch this game because that's where we want to be. Here are the 2 rosters. You go ahead and star those athletes. You can then dive into this athlete's profile. And now we have the ability to add some more notes and to get into Sophia's profile here. So again, once you're in the profile, you can see the schedule, you can see the notes, you can create note, You can go ahead, if you are a Front Rush client, you can go ahead and click Add to Front Rush, and this information will automatically pull over to your Front Rush account. This isn't a Front Rush pitch. Coach Packet was built by Front Rush. You do not have to have Front Rush to use Coach Packet. It is free for most events, especially in the women's lacrosse space. That you'll be able to utilize this system at no cost, which is awesome. For other events, for other sports outside of women's lacrosse, there may be a cost associated with that. But you can always call us or email us if there are questions about costs and that sort of thing. So once we went ahead and made some notes, we're at the event. We've either sorted by athletes or we sorted by the actual schedule of the event. Again, keep in mind that this is all offline. Let's say we made some notes. We're at the end of the middle of the story, if you will, and you go ahead and just click this little arrow just above where it says schedule here. You go ahead and click on that, and what it'll do is it'll sync the data. So all those notes and all those evaluations that you've made offline at the event, as soon as you hit Wi-Fi, as soon as you hit a 3G area or whatever the case may be, just go ahead and sync it, and all those notes, all those evaluations will automatically be pulled into the live version of Coach Packet. So when you log on to the web version, you'll see all those notes, all those evaluations, and all that good stuff. So beginning, we set our schedule, whether it's based on the athlete or based on team. At the event, the middle of the story, we're at the event, we're sitting on the sidelines, we're making notes, we're making evaluations, we're doing all that good stuff. And then the end of the story. What's the end of the story? The end of the story within Coach Packet is the ability to watch video. So with our partnerships with the IWLCA and some other folks that are out there that are actually videoing the event, we're taking that footage and putting it right back into Coach Packet so that you as a coaching staff can lay everything out in front of you and say, okay, I want to reevaluate so-and-so. Hey, I missed this game. Let's go ahead and watch that game all over again. So let's go ahead and take an example of that. Let's go ahead and take Team 180 2014 versus Denver Summit. Simply click on that game, and what we'll do is we'll upload the full game tape right after the fact. So again, as a coaching staff, you just simply click play, and you can watch this full game tape right in front of you. Now this may be a little bit slow because we're broadcasting it from an iPad to a Mac, and then we're recording this, but you have the ability to watch the full game tape. You can pop it out full screen, you can pause, rewind, fast forward. Again, pause it to make notes on certain athletes, star certain athletes, and then you have the ability to do all that good stuff with the video piece. So we want to lay everything out for you guys. And also what you'll have the ability to do is, let's say we went ahead and really liked Claire. We just simply click on Claire's name. And what it'll do, again, take us into that profile, and you've been utilizing this because before the event you checked her schedule. During the event you made some notes. But then after the event, just simply click on videos, and now we can watch Claire play in all the games at Western Cup. So I can make it a clear evaluation on Claire, whether she's going to be a scholarship athlete, partial scholarship athlete, can she play for our team, all that good stuff, because you're going to be at the event watching her. You're going to be able to watch more video on her, and maybe you weren't able to make Western Cup because of budgetary concerns and that sort of thing. We'll just wait a week or two, and we'll have that video up and running for you, and you can watch it as much as you want for the next year. So we really want to put all this stuff out together. We want to pull it all together, the data, the schedules, the offline access, the video, all the recruits' information, put it into a nice clean package, which is Coach Packet, and provide it for all the college coaches at no additional cost. Now this is obviously within the women's lacrosse space, so there may be a cost associated outside of women's lacrosse, but just again call us or email us if there are questions about that. When you're in this athlete's profile, just a couple of tidy things. We'll kind of clean this up accordingly, but you will not, at this moment in time, you will not be able to see other notes on Claire. So let's say Claire was at Champions Cup early in the summer. You'll only be able to see that Claire was at Champions Cup. You would actually have to go back in to the main screen here and go into Champions Cup to find Claire and to see her actual notes. We're always improving the system. For those coaches that were just using us for video for the past few years, you've seen how far we've come with the offline access and the schedules and all that good stuff. So we want that feedback. Give us feedback. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and you can always contact us at support@coachpacket.com. Simply shoot us a quick email if you'd like to go through a more detailed demo, or if you'd like to hear more about the features and functionalities that you might have missed or want to review. Just let us know. We'll also be present at most of the events that are utilizing Coach Packet. We'll also be at the conventions, the coaches' conventions. We really want to educate and get the word out there to those college coaches that this is available for them. No more bulky binders. Let's go ahead and eliminate those and put that stuff on an iPad so it makes your life a million times easier. So again, if there are any questions, please let us know. I'm going to take the next about 5 minutes here to dive into the web version of Coach Packet, because that's where you may be doing a lot of the viewing of the full videos. So I'm going to simply exit out here. I'm going to dive into, let's go ahead and dive into Firefox. We encourage Chrome, Firefox, Safari. Those are the better web browsers out there. And just like you had all this information available for you on your iPad, this information is going to be available for you on the web version. So you just simply click on coachpacket.com. And once you get to coachpacket.com, here's our website, and it kind of tells that same story that we just went over, the beginning, the middle, the end, and then the ability to sign in or sign up. I'm going to click the simple sign in button here. We go ahead and put in our demo site. Simply click sign in. And now we have access to all of this information. So here are all the events that we were at. Again, very similar to what you saw on the iPad. You can go ahead and access this information directly from any web browser. You can utilize your iPhone. You can utilize any Droid app. It's just going to be the web-friendly version of the Coach Packet app, but you will have access to that information. We strongly encourage the iPad and strongly encourage downloading the app because of the offline access and all that good stuff. If you're utilizing any other mobile device, you will have access to that information. It just won't be as clean and as easy as it would if you had an iPad. At the top right-hand side here, you can search for all the athletes within the event. So remember, we used the Claire example. We can go ahead and click Claire. And then here's all the, I think it was Claire Baker that we were actually searching for. So let's go ahead and click on Claire Baker. And here she is. She was at President's Cup, Champions Cup, and Western Cup. And in 2012, she was at President's Cup. I'm sure she'll be there this year. So you can just dive right into her profile within those 3 events. Very simple and easy there. Let's go ahead and go back to all of our events. And let's get into Western Cup here so that you have the ability to see Western Cup and what that'll look like for you. Again, if there are questions, feel free to send them over to support@coachpacket.com. Please let us know if there are anything that we can help you out with. Be more than happy to review that stuff with you. So I'm just going to dive into Claire's profile. Again, it looks very similar to what you saw before. You can see her profile. You can pop this out full screen if you don't want to watch. You want to bring it into the office and you want to watch all the coaches or have all the coaches watch this video, or maybe you weren't at Western Cup. Plug your computer into the office's big screen monitor if you have one, and go to town, start watching, start recruiting. And then within the profile, you'll see the other events that she was Claire was a participant at. Some of the things that I want to stress towards the end here and kind of be a little redundant. Women's lacrosse coaches, this is free for you guys for all the IWLCA events. Please utilize this. The downloading's free. All that good stuff is free. For those coaches outside of women's lacrosse, again, it's going to be a per event type of situation, and it may be free, it may not be free. That's really based on the organization and how they want to handle distributing the video and the data back to the college coaches. And the last thing I'll leave you with is that you do not have to be a Front Rush client to utilize Coach Packet. We understand that some coaches, not every coach uses Front Rush, although we wish. We know that that's not reality. And we know that college coaches utilize other things outside of Front Rush, whether it's an Excel spreadsheet, a competitor of ours, hard copy pieces of paper, all that good stuff. It's all up to you guys. And to kind of segue that, if you're not a Front Rush client, and you want to get this information out of Front Rush, we do allow that. So you would easily, my suggestion or our suggestion would be to star the athletes that you've made evaluations on that you want to get out of the system. Simply click the star button at the top. And what will happen is it'll bundle all those athletes together. So once you've bundled those athletes together, you just simply click on it. You can mass add to Front Rush. And then what will soon happen is there will be an ability. There will be a green button here that it says export to CSV. So from President's Cup on, for President's Cup 2013 and on, coaches will have the ability to export this information directly to an Excel spreadsheet so that they can do whatever they want with that data. Now that's for women's lacrosse. Other events, especially in the men's lacrosse space and field hockey space, that we also have a good footprint in. That's an event by event type of situation. So some events don't allow that information to be exported to CSV. Others do allow it. It's not a Front Rush decision. It's or a Coach Packet decision. It's the tournament organizer and how they want to distribute that content. So for those in the women's lacrosse space that want to get this information out because they don't use somebody like a Front Rush, then you can just simply click export to CSV, and that information will be pulled out to an Excel spreadsheet, and you can distribute those notes and evaluations to anybody that you'd like. That kind of ends our time here. I didn't want to take it too much longer than that, but again, any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to stop by the booth, stop by the convention booth, or at the event, we'll have a booth as well. When the schedules change and when the data for the athletes change, that information will be pushed live directly to Coach Packet. So the information that you have in Coach Packet will be to date, live, up-to-date information. It will not be stagnant. You will not have to check back in with the coach's hospitality tent to see if there are any schedule changes or anything along those lines. All that stuff will be pushed live directly through Coach Packet. So without further ado, I'll kind of cut it off here. Drop us a line if you have questions. I really appreciate it. Love all you guys for the support, and look forward to working with you guys more and more as this thing starts to really grow. Hope all is well. Take care. Bye-bye.